So with that, we get started. We've been receiving emails for the last couple of months from ICF around the changes to the mentor coaching qualification, some changes to how that process is going to impact the credentialing. I've tried to collate all the information that I have been able to compile, and today I'm going to be talking about what is changing and what does it mean to you. And the you here are two kinds of audience people, so please bear with me. Not all of what I'm going to be talking is relevant. Either you are a coach who is trying to get credentialed on that credentialing journey, you are part of today's audience, or you are a mentor coach and wondering what does this change mean to me. So we will have both audience in today's session. So I will be dabbling between what does it mean to both of you. So if not all parts of it are relevant, please deal with me. Yeah. A little bit about me before I move on into the session. Shanti Sharma, all of you know me by name. I'm a Tamilian, married into a Rajasthani Sharma, born in Nagpur, brought up in Delhi, in Bangalore since 2008. And my kids say that I am an Indian, and I say stick to that because otherwise it becomes tough to explain where you are from. I've been in the learning and development industry apart from the first 6 months of my career where I was a software developer. Apart from that, the rest of the 29.5 years are in the learning and development space. To help me do my job better, have got some credentials, and I'm still a student of transactional analysis doing specialization in the OD space. I've done the Oxfam 100-kilometer walk twice. Don't look at me, don't judge me. I've truly completed all 100 kilometers by walking. I also teach at the Leonard Home for Disabled. These are people who've stepped out of formal education because of a physical disability. It is to help them get back into being financially independent. Very similar stuff I do with Periphery, which brings in transgenders from across the country into Bangalore or Pune, and we help them become employable. Sampark is an NGO that works with migrant labor and their children, migrant labor, to educate them on the government policies, the support that is offered, and they take care of their children while the labor is away at work. So we've partnered with Sampark to educate their teachers so that the children can have a basic education, alphabet, colors, telling their name, good touch, bad touch. So basic education, whatever is possible. They are very small schools, so we can't put them into various classes. It's a generic kind of a session that is given to anyone, but educating the teachers. I have now 2 books, and that reminds me I need to update my about page too. My second book is about a month old. And that's my first book, is more than a year and a half old. With that, we get into the session. As of June 2026, ICF keeps dabbling between two terms, MCQ and MCS. Give me a second. And we might also use those terms interchangeably today. Mentor Coach Qualification, which is the official exam that anybody applying to be a mentor coach has to undertake. But the process itself is called as Mentor Coaching Specialization, MCS. So you will see the two terms being used interchangeably. The more recent one is MCS. So know that we are referring to the same thing, whether I'm saying MCQ or whether I'm saying MCS. They both refer to a qualification that a mentor coach has to attain. The session, I have timed it to about 60 minutes. I will take questions at logical points, but if a question needs more explanation, we will park it so that once we wrap up the session, happy to stay on to whatever time and answer all questions before you leave the session. Few things that we need to be contracting before we move forward is definitely time. We've started on time. Questions are welcome throughout, but as I said, some question may be parked in case I feel it needs more deliberation. It is a very unique, specific question to your situation. Second, I do hope all of you can turn your cameras on. Keep your mics muted unless you want to speak. And use chat extensively, raise your digital hand, and we can go in the order in which hands were raised, and you can ask your question, make a comment. would love to see all of you on camera. It makes me feel I'm talking to people and I'm not talking to myself. I've tried to keep the session as light, engaging, but meaningful. Please note that this is a discussion. I don't intend it to be a monologue or a presentation. But of course, if nobody is engaging, it will become a monologue. So whether how engaging it is depends on you. Know that no question is basic, especially given how much is changing. In fact, couple of things I made changes today morning after attending a session yesterday from ICF. So things are constantly changing and evolving. I don't claim to be an expert, but I'm sharing information based on what I've gathered because I'm a mentor coach and I need to upgrade my skills and I need to inform my mentees about the right approach, the right next steps. So I'm equipping myself, and then hence I thought, let me share the information, the effort that I've already put in collating. Let me share. That's the intent of today's session. If any one of us is sharing client-specific information today, anything related to their own specific practice, I will edit it out before we put it onto social media. This will go on YouTube. But let's also remember that we will not share it in conversations outside of today's session. If there is nothing very specific shared, I will let the recording go as is. Feel free to voice out saying, Shanti, I'm sharing this, but don't want it to go out in the final recording. Very happy to accommodate. Yeah, one voice at a time. I know it can become very challenging when all of us want to speak. Please raise your digital hand and we'll go in the order in which the hands were raised. Please keep yourself muted. Know that the session is being recorded, and be aware of the time you are consuming in terms of asking questions or sharing your observations. Bring in real situations. It encourages all of us to engage with content that really applies to us, and others are also able to learn based on your situations. And finally, assume good intent. I know so many changes can be frustrating. To make a change today morning for a session that I thought I had prepared 15 days ago can become frustrating. And it's okay. It is a way of life. I think all of us have to learn to live with the changes going around. I will pause here for a minute to see, does anyone have a question about all of this? Do you want to add any way of working that you might not have seen here? A few thumbs up, so let's move on. So what are we going to cover? By the end of the 60 odd minutes, we will be able to describe what MCQ is, why was it introduced. We will identify the two deadlines that are very, very important for both the mentees and the mentor coaches to remember. We will determine what are the various approaches that are relevant for the mentor coaches, what are the relevant approaches for the mentees. We will also look at what are the two pathways for the mentor coaches. This section is going to be only relevant for mentor coaches, but how it's going to help a mentee is to be able to understand what do I look for when I'm signing up with the mentor coach. Yeah. And then finally, I hope that all of us walk back with a concrete next step. This is what I am going to do to either further my credentialing journey or I'm going to do to further my mentor coaching journey. Yeah. With that, I'm going to launch a very quick poll so that we understand who is there in the room. Quickly, let me know. I'm not sure if you are able to see the poll. Are you all able to see the results of the poll already? Share results. Yeah, I'm hoping you're able to see. So we do have people who are pursuing their ACC. We have people who are pursuing their PCC. We have people who are working towards their MCC. We also have people who are practicing mentor coaching, and some of us are coaches and mentors. So that's what I'd hope. Have I missed any audience who's saying that, Shanti, I don't fit into any of these? That's a sixth bucket. Have I missed anyone?
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Wonderful. With that, we will. Okay, now let's talk about what is really changing. And I intentionally chose this metaphor of metamorphosis. I didn't like it. The fact that I have to pay more money to get certified, to do what I've been doing for the last 4 years. But when I understood and read more about it, I think it is a very intentional, very deliberate, very thoughtful step taken by ICF. And hence, this is my contribution towards helping them, get everyone on board. So what is changing? Let me start with a quick grounding so that we are all talking about the terms in a similar way. And the first, I want to talk about the word credential. Um, Anyone here knows the origin of the word credential? Where does it come from? Yeah, it's a Latin word, credentia, and it means belief or trust. Yeah, and in the Middle Ages, when somebody said credential letter, it let a stranger who has arrived be trusted, be welcomed, because someone that the recipient already trusted has vouched for their products, for their services, for their capabilities, or something. This is exactly what we do even today. When ICF says that somebody is an ACC, somebody is a PCC, somebody is an MCC, those letters aren't just a measure of how good a coach you are or how not a good coach you are. It is a signal that somebody at the ICF end, either a mentor coach or an assessor or your trainer, is lending their credibility to you, saying that I vouch for this person being able to coach at an ACC level, being able to coach at a PCC level or an MCC level. Now, with that in mind, know that, and that's one big reason why this change has taken place in the first place. That's what mentor coaching specialization also talks about. Earlier, anyone who had renewed their ACC or was a PCC or was an MCC without any additional qualification was eligible to offer mentor coaching. And that did bring about some problems. And we will talk about what are those problems. So the operative, so let me also define mentor coaching. So what is mentor coaching? Mentor coaching is not coaching supervision. It is not coach training. It is something that is very specific that a qualified mentor coach, they listen to your live conversation with your coachee or a recording, they look through your transcript and are able to give you feedback mapping to the ICF competencies. Are you demonstrating a competency? Are you not demonstrating a competency? How well are you demonstrating the ICF core competency? The operative word here is the feedback. Feedback of the ICF competencies. And that's what ICF has tried to bring. So why are they changing? Firstly, the quality, only if my mouse works. Yeah, the quality varied. Some mentor coaches provided very detailed, rigorous reviews anchored around the competency, written feedback was given. Whereas other coaches, it was more like encouragement. Hey, this conversation looks good. Go submit to ICF. You're not great. You may want to do another recording. So what that resulted in was inconsistencies in how people going through mentor coaching cleared the recording at the ICF end. So for those inconsistencies, ICF had to bring in some standards. What should a mentor coach be evaluating? Second, as I just mentioned, there was no formal training. You just needed to have a valid credential and you were eligible to mentor coach. Again, that led to discrepancies. I may be a great mentor coach. I may be a great coach, but not necessarily I'm a great mentor coach. I may not know how to observe the competencies in others. I may not know how to give feedback to encourage development in others. And hence, being a great coach versus a great mentor coach are two different things. And the mentor coaching qualification aims to neutralize that. Third one is ICF has been doing lots of research in the last 2 years. It is available on their website. I was part of the initial survey where they asked questions around coaching supervision and mentor coaching. I think in 2024 end, I attempted that survey. So I know they've been working on this for a very, very long while. And they've built an evidence-based coaching competency framework. We will look at the framework also, the 6 core mentor coaching competencies that any person who's wanting to be a mentor coach has to build. The MCQ is a training requirement that ensures that mentor coaches have the competencies before they can provide mentoring to others. I will pause here to see if you have any questions based on what we have covered so far.
Yeah, this is Nantara.
Yeah, Nandana?
I've just put my question in the chat anyway. What exactly is the difference between a mentor coach and coaching supervision? Is there? I always thought they were one and the same.
Sure. Let me try and explain. A mentor coach helps you become a better coach in terms of your coaching competencies. Yeah. They will give you feedback on how aligned are you in terms of demonstrating your coaching competencies or not. Whereas a coaching supervisor is a more introspective process where you go to a coach supervisor and talk about a particular client. I don't know how to handle this client. Yeah. Or I get emotionally carried away when a client talks about this topic. Coach supervisor helps you work on yourself. A mentor coach helps you work on your coaching competencies. Did that help, Nayantara?
Yes, it helps.
Yeah.
And it's possible that a mentor coach could also be a coach supervisor, right? It can
Yes,
be.
they need a separate
Okay.
qualification to
Mhm.
be a supervisor. Technically possible, the same person can be a coach, a mentor coach, a coach supervisor, all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right. Yeah.
this is new information that I got yesterday that like we have a mentor coaching qualification, there is also soon going to be a coach supervising qualification. CSS is what they're calling. That will also come out later this year in September. So like they're putting more structure around mentor coaching, there will be more structure around coaching supervision too shortly.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, ICF is moving from you need 10 hours of coaching with a credentialed coach to you need 10 hours of coaching with a trained qualified mentor coach. The credential requirement is now a proxy. The MCQ is a direct qualification saying that this person is really qualified to tell you whether you are demonstrating the coaching competencies. Now let's look at the two key dates. Write them down, take a screenshot. I will show an attendance QR code. If you fill it in, everybody who's there in the call today will get the entire pack. But the two key dates that are really important, one is Jan 2027. From this date, any new mentor coaching hours completed towards ICF credentialing must be with an MCQ mentor coach. Any mentor coaching that you've done before Jan 1, 2027, it does not matter. They are still valid. To give an example, if I am doing my PCC, 5 of my hours I complete until December 2026 and 5 of my hours I complete after Jan 1, 2027. The 5 that I complete after Jan 2027 should be with an MCQ mentor coach. If the same mentor coach was not certified before in 2026, it's absolutely fine. My hours are still valid. I can still apply for the credential. That's date number 1. So hours completed before Jan 1, 2027 under the old system will remain valid. The second date is April 1, 2027. From that day, anybody who is appearing through ACC or PCC through portfolio path, not the level 1 and level 2, but the portfolio path applicants, the traditional performance evaluation is completely going away, is being sunset. The process where we would submit a recording to the ICF website for assessment is being replaced. Instead, the qualified mentor coach will provide structured competency documentation. So the training that the mentor coach has to take is exactly this. How do you document the growth of your mentee? How do you document which competency they are able to demonstrate, not demonstrate? At what stage can you bless your mentee and say, now go and apply on the ICF website? Now, all that is being trained, structured, standardized across mentor coaches. For MCC applicants, and I know there are a couple of you who are working towards your MCC, the performance evaluation stays the same. Nothing changes for you. It is still the old level 3 kind of approach, just that from January, ensure that your mentor coach is having MCQ. You there is no portfolio path for you right now. You still have to go through the regular approach for anyone who is working towards MCC. Yeah, I'll pause here on the dates to see. With that, I will launch my second poll. So based on what you've heard, I'd like to know where you are today. Yeah, I'm also a mentor coach who needs MCQ, MCS. And those who've answered, I need to figure out where I exactly stand. Please feel free to ping me one-on-one, and I'll be able to guide you to let you know what might be the right approach and path for you. Mentor coaching before, do not need wonderful. Some of mentor coaching hours will fall. Yeah, that you need to ensure that anything that's, so just check in with your mentor, specifically people who've said some of my mentor coaching hours will fall in 2027. The certification has just launched, so don't expect them to be certified yet. But as long as they're on their path and you know they will get certified before December 30th, you're absolutely is an important one. I will anyway send it, but there is lots of text on it. As I said, the MCQ is a formal qualification, and there are two parts. Anybody, any mentor coach who wants to complete the MCQ can choose either one of those. If you are new to mentor coaching, it is something that it is aspirational, I want to become a mentor coach, then you would by default choose the standard MCQ path. What does the standard MCQ path mean? That you're building your capability from scratch. The prerequisites are you are a PCC, MCC, or you have renewed your ACC at least once. Only then you can apply even via the standard path to be a mentor coach. You will need a 41 hours training on the ICF mentor coaching competencies. I will show you what those competencies are, with 50% of them being live. When I say live, it could be live virtual, it could be live in person. Yeah, it has to be synchronous. Like we are having a synchronous virtual conversation right now. So there is a facilitator, the person is offering you training information right now. This kind of a session, at least 50% of those hours have to be there. There are lots of people, as I understand, have applied for ICF to bless their mentor coaching certification program. And if you've already trained with an organization, just check with them that, will your program be approved? If they are in the process, it will get approved. We don't know whether all 41 hours we would have got it there, or 35 or 27. That you will need to find out with your training service provider, whosoever has given you that mentor coaching training. If not, nothing to worry. Right now, ICF has enough training on their website, on their learning portal. You need to complete those. There is 41 and more hours there that you can complete towards the mentor coaching competencies. If your training has been done by an external training provider, like we take training for ACC, PCC, what should the training definitely include? The new 6 mentor coaching competencies. It should talk about the formative assessment and the summative assessment. What is formative? Formative is what you do as a mentor coach. Summative is the final exam, the ACC exam, or the CE, the credentialing exam that the coachee will complete. So the process is first formative happens and then the summative happens. So how do you do the formative has to be very clear. Karen, Parinita, give me just a second. I'll come to you. Yeah. Level specific evaluation. So what does this mean? If you're going to be mentoring people at an ACC level, you will need to clear the ACC bars training. If you want to mentor people at a PCC level, you will need to clear the MCC markers training. If you are an MCC and are wanting to coach MCCs, you will have to create the MCC bars training. If, for example, I am a PCC, I can complete a PCC markers training. I can mentor either an ACC or a PCC, but I will still need to go through the ACC bars training. Why? Because the form that I have to fill to say that my NT is ready at an ACC level is different. Yeah. And the costs are also mentioned. These are introductory costs. I understand ICF will be upping these costs in about 6 to 8 months. So if you are an aspiring mentor coach, now is the right time to get this done. Yeah, Parinita, please go ahead.
So 2 questions. this introductory fee is for registering. Is it? What is this introductory fee for?
For the bars training, PCC markers training or the MCC markers training.
Okay. And if we've done the bars training earlier, that doesn't, earlier means about a year ago, it still needs to be revisited.
It still needs to be revisited.
Okay. I'm curious to understand this a little more if you have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
This point on must include the markers, bars, evidence required, 5 mentor coaching clients who successfully earned ICF credential.
Hold on. That is for people who are already mentor. I've not touched that, the lighter part of the column or not. It's only people who are aspiring to be mentor coaches. The dark side of the column, the left side is what I've covered so far.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So if there are no more questions on this column, I will move to the prior learning path. Yeah, okay. So a lot of us are mentor coaches who've been providing mentor coaching for several years now. Several of our mentees are credentialed already. ICF does not want all our experience to be wasted. So they have relaxed the requirements for people who are already mentor coaches. The eligibility criteria does not change. So prerequisite is you have a PCC, MCC, or you have renewed your ACC. That does not change. The educational qualification changes drastically. You only need 10 hours of mentor coach specific training. Yeah, this training is also available on the ICF website. If you are a member, it comes to you at no cost. If you're not a member, it comes to you at a small cost. Yeah, so this, and fortunately for if you're already a mentor coach, it can be done synchronously, asynchronously. There is no foundation there. The other eligibility requirement is that you still need to do the bars and the markers training, depending on the level. So if you are an MCC and your mentees are all ACC, PCC, MCC, you will have to do 3 of these trainings. You'll have to do ACC also because the documentation looks different. You have to do PCC also because the documentation looks different. You have to do MCC also, the documentation looks different. But when you're renewing, you just have to renew once. All 3 will get renewed. Yeah. And you have to submit evidence that you have at least 5 mentor coaching clients who've been credentialed in the last 3 years. If you can submit this documentation, anyways, they would have put your name on the ICF website. It's very easy for them to validate and all your requirements are done. The renewal time is 3 years, like any other ICF credentialing. Every 3 years, you have to keep renewing. The only additional criteria is for mentor coaches is that you need supervision, 10 hours of supervision to ensure that is your eligibility criteria for renewing your mentor coaching certification. Yeah. Is that clear now? Does that make sense? The cost and all remains the same. Nothing changes, whether new credential, old credential, everything 50 for members and 125 for non-members. The 6 mentor coaching competencies are here on the screen. You don't need to memorize them, but you need to know why they exist. The 6 competencies are not abstract, and they are skills that a mentor coach has to continuously demonstrate in order to provide quality and consistent feedback. That's the whole intent. So what are these? Models and promotes ethical practice. I think as a coach, all of us would understand what that means. But as a mentor coach, there are additional ethics requirements. Yeah, because you are listening to a conversation that your coach, the mentee is having with another person, and they're sharing it with you. So it brings in additional layer of knowledge around how do you handle that. Establish and maintains agreements. This means that you're partnering with your mentee on a clear set of goals. What are the credentialing expectations? It could be logistical, it could be session level focus, very similar to how we have established this agreement for as a core competency. Today, my throat is absolutely drying. I have no idea why. It's Bangalore weather, I guess. Yeah, manages mentor coaching process. What this means is as a mentor coach, you need to co-create a learning environment. The entire rigor on how good a coach emerges. Are they able to clear the ICE exam, the ACC exam? depends on you, the mentor coach. So there's a lots of responsibility now on the mentor coaches, specifically in the ACC PCC portfolio path, because you are the people who are blessing your mentees to say, now you're ready for the exam. You have to document your formative appraisals, which that's the conduct's formative appraisals, where you're evaluating against the core competency and writing down your comments. And that's what ICF will be looking at, how you able to demonstrate progress. Earlier my mentee was not up to the mark, and now they're up to the mark, and this is how they've progressed. Earlier this was a development area, this is how they've worked on it. Are you able to clearly call out the areas of improvement and help your mentee work on sharpening their coaching competencies? That's what the facilitate client skill development means, where you are able to provide a non-judgmental feedback and also support and guidance on how can they improve that particular competencies. The criteria that, 7 can be group coaching and at least 3 have to be one-on-one still remains. But a huge part of the conversation yesterday was around possibly mentor coaches will have to open that 10 hours the requirement. Are you confident that you will be able to stamp the mentee saying that this is they are ready in 10 sessions? I don't know. Yeah, because now there is a lot of onus on you. So you will have to design your programs. Do you want to do a 12-hour, 15-hour, 15 session, depending what it, or till the time the mentee is ready. So a lot of responsibility now sits on it. And what does that mean? How do you manage group dynamics when you're doing mentor coaching in group ways? Yeah. These are the 6 competencies. The definitions are also available on the ICF website. Please go and check. The training supposedly talks about each one of them. There are templates that you can download. You will have to download if you're a mentor coach. Keep it handy so that you start documenting your mentees. What I understood yesterday was, even if you are not an MCQ yet, it's good to download these templates and start populating so that you are more equipped with the kinds of questions to ask during the training program. Yeah. So what does this mean to you? I'll first talk about what does this mean for the coaches. Yeah. You can be in one of the 4 scenarios. Yeah, I'm just starting, haven't begun mentor coaching yet. If you are in that bucket, please do ensure that your mentor coach has signed up for MCQ, is planning to sign up for MCQ, is on the path of becoming MCQ. By Jan, Feb, they definitely should be an MCQ. So have that word in case you are yet to start. If you are in middle of a mentor coaching conversation, 2 things can happen. You can ask your mentor coach to speed up the session so that all sessions are completed before December. You are absolutely safe. Nothing to worry about. However, if you are the one who is driving the gap between the sessions and you feel ready when you have a conversation ready to take to your mentor coach, it might be wise to check in with your mentor coach again if he or she will be completing their MCQ before Jan 2027. If not, please give them time. Avoid that Jan Feb time so that they can clear the MCQ. Then you can complete the rest of the sessions so that neither they are losing a client, neither you are losing the hours for the money that you've already paid. So keep that in mind. Know that any mentor coaching session that you are taking after 1st of Jan 2027 should be with an MCQ mentor coach. If you're closing, applying, everything done within this year, nothing for you to worry about. If you're already credentialed and renewal is due, if ACC renewal is due, the mentor coaching requirement still applies, and everything with an MCQ mentor coach, if you're applying like you're applying for a first credential with an ACC, still applies. With the PCC, nothing changes. If you're already credentialed, you can move on. But there are discussions to make mentor coaching mandatory again for renewals also for PCC and MCC. Just so you know that those discussions are ongoing. So possibly in a year or 2, if you're even renewing your PCC, possibly it may be on. Any questions? Anybody who has a scenario outside these? I could not think of any. Can you think of anything that that you relate to, but you can't see it on the screen as a coach? I take that as a no. And for mentor coaches, what is changing is, for those of you who are mentor coaches, you will have to decide whether the standard path works for you or the other path works for you. The standard path is if you are new or if you don't have evidence to showcase that 5 of your mentees have been credentialed in the last 3 years, you don't have a choice. You have to go through the regular standard path. But if you have those evidences, you can apply directly for the MCQ with those evidences being submitted, and you're good. So the only 2 decisions that you have to make is the standard path or the prior credit path. And if you have any questions in terms of being a mentor coach, now is the time to ask, and I hope to answer. Anything that is not clear, anything that is clear, anything. I don't think I have different vocabulary. I'll try and use a different vocabulary if I've not been clear, but I can try that.
Shanti, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I have a question regarding the standard path. Apologies for not turning on my camera. I'm not in a position to time. So when you speak about the standard path, and when you say we have to undergo the training for the ACC bars, PCC markers, and the fee is $50 for members. So one has to take both the trainings, ACC bars and PCC markers. So the fee is $50 for each training?
$50 for each training.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. And is there a timeline, like once I pay the fee, is there a timeline wherein I have to complete?
No.
Okay.
But you can't offer mentor coaching unless you've cleared it. That's all.
Sure.
So one more question, Shanti. Currently, I'm a mentor coach with ICF. I've done mentor supervision, but I've not done mentor coaching. For my MCC, I did supervision. So I can continue this till December, and by then I would have had to get the MCS. Is that right?
MCS,
the mentor coaching.
If you want to do mentor coaching, then yes.
Yeah, okay.
If you want to continue doing coach supervision, then please wait until September. The CSS, the coach supervision specialization, is going to come.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah, so your next steps are going to be 2 things. Either I want to identify my mentor coach, know that they are on the credentialing path for MCQ, MCS. By when will they complete? How should I plan my hours? Those would be your next steps. Whereas if you are a mentor coach, your next steps would look like, do I want to do only PCC markers, or do I want to do ACC markers, PCC markers, MCC markers? Where do I want to position myself? How do I want to position myself? How much money investment, time investment do I want to do? I think those would be some of the questions that you would need to think as you plan your MCS, MCQ. I hope this session was helpful. I hope there are, it has added value in terms of clarity, in terms of what you want to do. I'll stay around a few other things that I can recollect from yesterday's. What if a mentor coach doesn't get MCQ in time? All you need to do is give them that gap so that they can get MCQ and then continue. If the mentor coach has decided not to complete their MCQ, unfortunately, your current set of hours, if done beyond Jan 1st, are wasted. If done before 31st December 2026, are absolutely valid. Please go ahead and submit. Just for the remaining hours, go find an MCQ coach. That will also work. You don't need all the 10 mentor coaching hours from the same mentor. You can have mentor coaching hours from multiple. So with that, one last poll, and then we can end with. I totally understand the fuzziness. I think we will have to keep talking, keep discussing, and feel free to reach out to me. If I don't have the answers, I will try and find out the answers and come back to you. I'm glad nobody said still confused. But yeah, there is lots more clarity that we need for the session that you've just attended. That would really be helpful. And I will put in the chat for those who are looking for a mentor coach, my mentor coaching services. I'm going to be launching a batch in July. And my page has my test, the link that you can. Most welcome, Achita. As I said, I'm available for any questions. In case there are no questions, we can wrap up. But please do provide me feedback. It'll really help me. Anything that you feel I should have done differently, very happy to hear. Feedback form, and you don't have any comments, feel free to drop. I'll just stay on to see if people have any questions.